Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching today. I am going to do a deep clean of our whole house. This is the clean that I do on a weekly basis, so it's not the deepest clean that I do monthly or once a quarter, but I'll show you a pretty deep clean of our whole house today. And I've not cleaned the place in about a week, and I just cooked dinner so that I could bring you a really dirty house and clean it all up. I'm going to use all natural ingredients to clean today and just go over tips and tricks of what I do. So come along, check it out. While I'm showing you our dirty house, I thought I would go over how I organize doing an entire house clean like this, which is by floor, meaning first and then second floor, and by task. So I will clean an entire floor first, and how I organize the tasks on the floor would be tidying up and then dusting and doing laundry first. These I kind of categorize as clean tasks. Then I'll move on to bathrooms or bathroom and kitchen, which are a little bit dirtier tasks than the first few. And then last I'll vacuum and mop so that the floors get very clean last, because when I'm wiping and cleaning and dusting, lots of crumbs and dust will fall to the ground, so vacuuming and mopping last just makes sense. I always start my cleans with getting all of our dirty laundry and starting a load so that hopefully it is done by the time I'm done cleaning the rest of everything else. And then I move on to dusting. And dusting, my 3 rules of thumb are top to bottom, back to front, and move in a spiral around the room. So this means I'll start at one end of the room and work my way around all the way until I spiral into the middle of the room. That way I know I've touched every surface. So, and then top to bottom means I will start with light fixtures and ceiling fans, and then tops of woodwork, and then tops of furniture and items on furniture, getting under all of the items, picking them up, dusting the item if it needs dusted, and the sides of furniture, and then last I'll do baseboards. And then back to front means when I'm doing the tops of furniture, I will pick the items up and then just swish my duster back to front, putting all crumbs and dust and everything onto the ground to be vacuumed up later, and not just moving it around on the furniture. And this works with blinds too. As you can see, I'm dusting top to bottom on the blinds, and an easy way to do that too is just shut them one way, dust top to bottom, shut the other way, dust top to bottom. Easy. Next, I will move on to making my bed and folding my laundry. I like to make my bed because I use it as a station for folding all of my laundry, and I also use it to pile up anything else that's in the room that I need to get off the floor in order to vacuum in a bit. So it's just nice to have like a clean flat surface to do all of that stuff on. And you'll see that I'm not making it perfectly and really nicely today because it's already in the afternoon and I just hadn't made it yet today. So I'm not too worried about it being perfect. Then you can see I just piled all my laundry on here, and I'm separating it into different categories as I fold. And I'm just gonna leave this laundry once it's folded on here for a while because I still have a couple loads left to get washed and dried. And so once those are finished, I will bring those up and fold them as well before I put everything away. That way I'm not having to do it 2 times. Just makes sense. Next, I will move on to the bathrooms, and I'm just going to show you the master bathroom today. We have another bathroom on this floor, but I think that'd be pretty redundant. So what I'll use in here today is our all-purpose spray or salicydes, some baking soda, a scrub brush, and some microfiber rags, probably 3 or 4. And then the first thing I do in here is tidy everything up. That already makes a huge difference in how clean things look, is when you tidy up. Then I take everything off the vanity that's decoration and I spray it all down with our all-purpose vinegar water essential oil spray, which I have directions for in another video that you can see. And I clean the mirror first with a dry microfiber rag. I clean it top to bottom, and then I wipe back and forth at the bottom to make sure I get all the dust. And then with that same rag that's still pretty dry usually, I do the fixtures first so that I can polish them up and leave no streaks. And you'll see I get my finger in the rag and I really go around the edges of the bottom of the fixtures to get in the crevices where there's a lot of like buildup and stuff. And our vanity has this little ledge behind there too that I make sure to get. And then I just fold my rag continually while I'm cleaning this vanity and wipe back to front and do the sinks last so that I know I'm getting every inch and there are no hairs or dirt or anything left on the vanity. If your vanity needs some deeper scrubbing and has some buildup or something, you can use baking soda and then spray your vinegar water spray on it and it'll give it a really deep scrub. And you can also use our salicylic spray that I use a lot, and I also have a video of me making that. Then I'll get a new rag in order to clean our cabinet faces, and I just spray them down with our all-purpose cleaner and wipe them top to bottom. I get the handles and around the handles as well. Those get a lot of grime and just germs. And then I get the insets of those cabinets as well. And you might forget these cabinet faces sometimes, but they get a lot of dust and buildup, especially in small bathrooms like ours where there's a lot of condensation and just general dust. I wanted to show you a close-up. If there's dirt in the corners of your cabinet insets like this, you can just spray them out really well and then use your microfiber rag to get in there. Moving on to the toilet, take anything you have off your toilet and then I spray down the entire thing before starting to wipe it from the outside in. So I start on the top and the top of the bowl, and then I really use my rag to get around in all of the creases and crevices. I don't wear gloves while I'm doing this because I just turn my rag so that I'm never touching a nasty, dirty side, but you are obviously welcome to do that if you would like. Then I move from the outside in, the cleanest to the dirtiest, which is my general rule of thumb while cleaning. And don't forget to get the bottom of the toilet, and I wipe from the top down so that all of the dust can kind of group at the bottom and I can easily wipe it off at the end. When you're cleaning inside the toilet, you can use your all-purpose spray to just spray around the bowl, or you can use vinegar and then use your brush to really get the entire inside of the bowl, even under the lip if you can. All of this will build up with grime and hard water, so you're going to want to just wash the entirety of the bowl. And then I always give it a good flush afterwards and then pour a little vinegar to let sit in there for a while. And while I'm down there, I'm just wiping down all the baseboards. Speaking of baseboards, don't forget to wipe all of your boards. This is the windowsill and window that I wipe. These get really dirty in bathrooms especially. I think it's just the condensation buildup along with the dust coming in from the window, especially in our house because our windows are old, like our house, 110 years. And then I get all over the top of our wainscoting, just any cabinets or woodwork that you have in your bathroom, make sure to wipe it. Here's me messing with the camera to try to get me wiping this frame as well, but it still cut me off quite a bit, so sorry about that. Next is the shower. If your shower has a glass door like ours, I know they can be a huge pain in my butt. So a lot of times I keep a shower spray in our shower to spray down the walls and the door after every shower. Right now I'm using Method, but you can also just use the vinegar water all-purpose spray for that, and it works really well. I just didn't realize that before, but now I'm switching over to that. So then the first thing in the shower is to take out all of your soap and bottles and everything and spray everything down really well. And then I start with wiping down the door first with a clean, dry rag. I do this again so that I won't leave any streaks, and I wipe top to bottom because usually the bottom of the door is the dirtiest and has the most water spots, and that's the same when I get to the walls. Wipe top to bottom, and I usually just use the damp other side of the rag that's still clean to wipe the outside of the door because it usually doesn't have as much grime or water spots, so it just needs a damp wipe. So by the time you get to the bottom of the shower walls, that cleaner has been sitting there for a while, so it should have loosened up some of the soap scum or mold that's in your grout down there. But ours hadn't been cleaned in a while, so I took a grout brush that you can find online or at Home Depot. They're just small little brushes, and I put baking soda on it and really got into that grout and scrubbed it really well, and then continually spray it with your Salsuds or all-purpose cleaner and wipe it down after scrubbing so you get all of the grime off of there. And I still wipe top to bottom, so I'm wiping all of the grime kind of down into the bottom of the shower because I'll clean that after doing this. Okay, now I'll move on to the bottom of the shower. And what is that white spot on my head? Like a baking soda or something? Huh. Anyway, I'm going to use the baking soda, sprinkle it all over the bottom of the shower, and then spray it down with the Salsuds all-purpose cleaner so that it gets all wet. And then I'll take the grout brush and really use that to scrub the bottom and the sides of the pan of the shower. That gets away all the soap scum and mold and whatever else is down there, just stains and stuff. And as I'm scrubbing, I will move all of the baking soda towards the drain, because later I'm going to take vinegar or vinegar all-purpose cleaner and pour it down the drain, and that'll really clean out any of the mold that's in the drain, or just make it smell fresher as well. And then another tip is after the scrubbing, I spray it all down with the Salsuds and take the microfiber rag and kind of wipe all the hair and dirt or whatever to one edge of the shower, usually towards me, so then I can kind of just scoop it all out at once with the rag. I decided to add a bit more baking soda to the drain, and then as you'll see, I pour the vinegar mixture in there and it bubbles up a little bit and just cleans that whole drain. Also wanted to show you really quick, if you have a door, to make sure to get under this runner and on top of it in the creases, because that will gather a lot of that mold and grime. Then I just put all our products back in and I wipe the bottles down as I put them back in, and you're done with the shower. Then I'll move on to vacuuming this entire floor. I'm starting in the bathroom here. I'm using our Shark vacuum that has a setting for wood and tile floors. So it has that setting and a rug setting, so I can easily just switch in between those. And I always start at one end of a room and work my way out of the room, as you'll see in all of these clips. I always just vacuum the stairs with our wood floor setting on our Shark vacuum too, just because it's easy and it kind of fits our stairs perfectly, but your vacuum might have an attachment or something to make it easier. And I also vacuum the stairs so that I can get the vacuum off of our second floor before I start mopping. When mopping, I just use a flat Bona mop with a microfiber mop pad, and I just use water, or you can use water with a tiny bit of vinegar if they need a really deep clean. And then I start at one end of the room and mop my way out of the room, just like when vacuuming, so that I don't walk on a freshly mopped floor. By the time I was done mopping, my other load of laundry was done drying, so I brought it up, folded it, and then put all my clothes away so I could know that this floor was done and move on to the main floor. Then, just like with the second floor, I start with dusting and tidying up on the main floor, and when I dust, I walk around with a damp rag with our all-purpose cleaner on it so I can wipe up any spills or sticky stuff on tables that I find, and I'm just dusting with our microfiber duster as well. When I'm tidying and dusting, I also check out all of our plants and cut any dying ones that I need to, and water any plants as needed as well. I have a few shelves like this in my house that have a lot of items on them, and people always ask me how often I dust them. The answer is I dust the lower shelves about once a week, where I just do this and pick things up, dust under them, and then put them right back. And then the upper shelves I dust about once a month, just because I have to stand on a stool, they're a little harder to get to, and I don't use the items up there as much, so I don't need to dust as much. So I dusted the entire floor, and now I'm moving on to cleaning the kitchen. And I am leaving out all of my cleaning supplies because I was shooting a couple videos with those later today. But I just pick up everything that's out, put it away in its spot, put the dirty dishes in the sink because I'll do those in a second. Just tidy everything up. Then I move on to spraying everything down with our all-purpose cleaner and wiping the counters all off first, and then I'll move on to cleaning the stove and all of the appliances and wiping the cabinets as well. I did a video not too long ago on a deep clean of our kitchen, which is what I'm doing here, and it wasn't a deep clean per se, where I would clean out the refrigerator and the cabinets and stuff like that, but it was a clean, pretty much what I'm doing here, which is just wiping everything down, doing the dishes, etc. So I will link that in the description of this video if you want a more detailed instruction, whatever, of everything I'm cleaning here. Then I'll just move on to vacuuming this entire floor after I clean the kitchen and I've dusted. And I also cleaned a tiny half bath that we have on this floor. And as you see here, I am vacuuming up that baking soda essential oil mixture that I put on this rug from before. And I put that on the rug in our living room down here as well. And that just takes care of any smells that are on the rugs. It'll kind of soak them up, and I've let that sit there for about 5 hours. You can do it for even 24 hours if you want, but honestly my OCD will not let me leave it on there for longer than about 5 hours because it's just like an eyesore. But I love that. It works really well. You'll see me moving our ottoman around and really getting under things and kind of lifting up the edges of the rug when I vacuum in here. And yes, I do this on a weekly basis because it's amazing how much dirt, especially with pets, can build up underneath those sorts of things. So don't forget to move things off the ground, even if you don't think there's dust and dirt under them when you're vacuuming. There definitely is. Then I move on to mopping. Sometimes in the kitchen, if the floors are extra grimy, I'll use sal suds and water mixture, but otherwise you can just use water or your water with just a tiny bit of vinegar as a spray for mopping with. And I don't recommend any other products other than that, just because it's bad for floors. Recently I tried using Bona for a few months just to see what all the rage was about, and guys, do not use it. It made this whole film on our floor, and then one day I mopped with water again and it made this really hazy nastiness on our whole floor. I'm considering making a video all about that and like how I had to scrub it up off our floor. So literally just use your sal suds or water with a tiny bit of vinegar to mop. I recommend not using anything else besides that, and it just does the best job. You can even kind of see in this video the little bit of haziness on our floors. I'm still working on getting it up. I just can't believe it left that much of a layer of chemicals or whatever the heck on our floor. I was so mad. Now you'll just see me doing the final tidy, moving everything back into place, straighten things up a little bit more, and boom, the whole house clean is done. Kind of giving you a little sweeping view. This clean obviously went into what looks like the depths of the night, but really it's only like 5 o'clock because it's winter here and it's daylight savings. Ugh. You know how it is, folks. So fresh and so clean. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys had a fun time cleaning with me today, or at least watching me clean to get inspiration for your own house cleans. And if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, or if you have any future cleans that you would like to see me do, leave all those in the comment section. If you have any detailed questions on how to clean something specific, I could do a video on that in the future, so just leave that in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos and to support my channel. I hope you guys had a great time today like I did. Thanks again for watching, and happy cleaning!